This story is created purely for entertainment purposes. It is a work of fiction and is not intended to promote or encourage belief in the supernatural. After nearly 4 years, Liam, Theodore, Henry, and Matteo finally reunited to visit their old friend Oliver at his remote farmhouse. It was the last night of the year. By the time they arrived, it was already around 9 p.m. They planned to spend the entire night there, but finding the farmhouse had taken much longer than expected. The air felt unnaturally cold. The kind of cold you only experience in the middle of dense forests or on abandoned stretches of land. Oliver's farmhouse stood miles away from the nearest town, deep in a quiet, isolated area. A narrow dirt road led to the property, with towering trees lining both sides. In the middle of that eerie landscape stood a large old farmhouse. The 4 friends stepped out of the car and stopped in front of the gate. For a few seconds, no one said a word, standing there staring at the old entrance. They couldn't tell if they had really arrived at their friend's home or somewhere they were never meant to find.
Is this the location Google Maps is showing?
Don't worry, man. This is Oliver's farmhouse. The kid's loaded.
Rich boy vibe, huh? This place is seriously giving off that wealthy, haunted house vibe.
Come on, let's head inside. It's getting late.
The main gate slowly creaked open on its own, and a black cat suddenly ran across in front of them, letting out a loud meow.
Dude, seriously? The cat had to cross our path right now. And how the hell did that door just open by itself without anyone touching it?
Come on, the wind's blowing too. That's probably why the gate was open. And let's not ruin that cat's New Year's celebration because of us. Alright, enough drama. Come on, let's go inside.
The 4 of them stepped through the gate. The front door slowly swung open. Standing in the doorway was Oliver. He was staring at them with an unsettling, almost emotionless gaze.
Dude, is he just gonna stand there staring at us? Or is he actually gonna let us in? It's freezing out here.
Hey, you guys made it. Did you have any trouble getting here?
Yeah, we made it, bro. The road was a little rough, but we finally got here.
The 4 of them stepped inside. A faint yellow glow filled the room. The walls were decorated with old masks and a few faded photographs. A large sectional couch was arranged in a circle around a solid wooden coffee table, covered with food and bottles of liquor. Strangely, there wasn't a single housekeeper or servant in sight. They all greeted Oliver with warm hugs before settling onto the couch. Oliver, however, chose to sit alone in a chair.
Oliver, man, what have you been up to lately? What movie are you working on?
I'd love to, but so far, I haven't come across a story that's actually scary enough to scare me.
You're not scared of anything, dude. So, where are you supposed to get the scary stuff for your stories?
Yeah, I know it's hard to scare me, but you guys can give it a shot. How about we make a game out of it? The 4 of you each tell your scariest story. Whoever tells the best one wins. And here's the prize. Your story gets turned into a movie.
Oliver kept watching the 4 of them closely.
First, let me tell you a terrifying story. Oliver, brace yourself. You're about to be scared.
Oliver slowly adjusted his chair. His face remained completely expressionless.
All right. Okay. Now, I'll tell you a scary story. Aarav simply tilted his head slightly. The lights flickered once. Then the room suddenly went silent. On the 15th floor of a massive corporate company, a glass-walled executive office stood in the middle of the entire floor. It didn't feel like an office anymore. It felt like a stage where everyone outside the glass walls had front row seats. The air inside felt strangely heavy, and everyone standing outside was staring through the glass, watching what was happening inside, like they were watching a man slowly being executed. Suddenly, a thick file flew across the room and slammed straight into David's face. Papers exploded everywhere, scattering across the floor. "What the hell is this, David? Fourth time, David. Fourth time this week. How many times do I have to tell you? How can you be this careless?" David's lips trembled, but his voice got stuck in his throat. Mr. Sharma slammed his hand against the desk and stepped closer. "This is your final warning. If you make one more mistake after today, you can turn in your badge at the front desk." "Understand?" David nodded silently. "And you're staying late tonight. Because if this project isn't finished before the end of the night, forget the promotion. You'll be lucky if you still have a job." "Yes, sir." "Now get the hell out of here." David lowered his head. He turned around and slowly walked out. Every pair of eyes on the floor followed him. Some employees whispered, some smiled, and in a few people's eyes there was that strange little spark of satisfaction, almost as if they were saying, "Today it was your turn." David returned to his desk. The glow from his computer screen made his face look even more exhausted. Broken. Empty. Just 1 week earlier, everything had been going perfectly. His promotion was practically guaranteed. He had been working day and night. So how had all these mistakes suddenly started appearing under his name? Mistakes he knew he hadn't made. It felt like some invisible shadow was sabotaging his work. Like the office itself was pulling him deeper and deeper. David leaned toward his screen. His fingers were trembling. He had to finish the project tonight. His entire future depended on it, so he forced himself back into work. Hours passed, 10 p.m. David finally sent the last email. He leaned back, straightened his aching back, and looked around. The entire office was empty. Not a single person remained. Empty chairs, dim yellow lights, flickering overhead. The whole place looked like a cemetery, lit by dying lamps. Everyone had left without him even noticing. David got up and headed toward the restroom. The moment he opened the door, a wave of cold, damp air hit his face. The lights inside were flickering. David looked into the mirror. His face looked exhausted. His eyes were red from staring at the computer screen all night. Then, something moved behind him, a shadow, fast. David spun around. Nothing, just an empty restroom, and the slow, echoing sound of dripping water. Drip, drip, drip. From somewhere outside, he heard footsteps. David froze. Maybe it's the security guard. He splashed water onto his face and took a deep breath. Suddenly, the lights flickered violently. Flicker, flicker, flicker. And for 1 second, the entire restroom went completely dark. The door opened, then slammed shut. David saw something in the corner of his eye. A shadow. "Who's there?" a voice answered from outside. "Security." "And what the hell is wrong with these lights?" No answer. David stared into the darkness. Then he felt it. Someone was standing directly behind him. A slow breath brushed against the back of his neck. David panicked. He didn't wait. He ran toward the door, and the second he stepped outside, his entire body went numb. The office was full again. Every desk had someone sitting at it. People were typing, keyboards clicking, monitors glowing. David's throat tightened. A cold shiver ran down his spine. He couldn't understand what he was seeing. Had what happened in the restroom been a dream? Was his mind finally breaking? Whatever it was, at least he wasn't alone anymore. David was about to speak when a voice came from behind him. David, the boss wants to see you. David turned. A young office assistant was standing there. His face looked normal, but there was something strange in his eyes. The boss never stops, does he? Yeah. Okay, I'll be right there. David slowly walked toward Mr. Sharma's office. His heart was still beating irregularly. The moment he entered, Mr. Sharma was already standing there. His face was red. Dark veins stood out beneath his eyes. What is this? This work is still incomplete? Another mistake, David? How many times do I have to tell you? David stared at him. Sir, I finished the project. I fixed all the errors. Mr. Sharma stepped closer. His breath was freezing cold, unnaturally cold. I've warned you enough times, and yet you keep making the same mistakes. Keep working like this and you'll be out on the street before you know it. This project gets finished tonight. That's my final warning. David's lips went dry. He said nothing. Outside the glass walls, everyone continued working, but David knew they had all heard everything. What is happening to me? What am I doing wrong? Why is this happening? Am I losing my mind? But he couldn't leave without finishing the project. If he went home now, he might never have a job to come back to. So David returned to his desk and started working again. The project was almost finished when he heard the voice again. David, the boss wants to see you. David slowly turned around. This time, the assistant looked different. There was no emotion on his face. Dark circles surrounded his eyes. His skin looked pale, almost gray, like ash. David couldn't speak. He simply stared at him. Then he looked at the clock. The same time. Again. It felt like the night wasn't moving forward. Something was horribly wrong. Without saying a word, David walked toward the boss's office. The moment he entered, Mr. Sharma's eyes looked even more terrifying. Deep black circles surrounded them, almost as if something else was living behind his eyes. You made the same mistake again, David. The same damn mistake. David stumbled backward. Sir, I finished the project. I finished it twice. Mr. Sharma suddenly grabbed David by the collar. His hand was ice cold. You wanted the promotion, didn't you? You were willing to destroy anyone to get it. You'd even kill someone for it. But you can't do your damn job. How can someone be this pathetic? David's eyes widened. He knew that sentence. You'd even kill someone. How could Mr. Sharma know? David's entire body went cold. He ripped himself free and ran. He burst out of the office and froze. Every employee on the floor was typing, exactly the same rhythm. Then, as if someone had pressed an invisible button, every keyboard stopped. At exactly the same time, every head slowly lifted. Every pair of eyes turned toward David. Black, lifeless, unnaturally still. Every face carried the same expression, pale skin, dark circles, and the same strange smile. David's blood ran cold. A shock traveled down his spine. He stumbled backward. What the hell is happening? His body made the decision before his mind could. Run, now. David sprinted toward the elevator. Behind him, those lifeless eyes seemed to follow him. The elevator lights began flickering. Once, twice. Then the entire hallway began flashing. It felt like the building itself was preparing to swallow him. David desperately slammed the elevator button. The doors opened. Inside was complete silence. It didn't feel like an elevator anymore. It felt like a coffin. But David had no choice. He jumped inside and pressed the ground floor button. The doors closed. The elevator moved. 1 second, 2, 3. Then the doors opened. David's heart stopped. He was back on the 15th floor. The same hallway. The same flickering lights, the same endless corridor. No. How? David started hitting the button again and again. The elevator began shaking. A deep mechanical rumble filled the cabin. It sounded like something was scratching at the top of the elevator. The doors closed. A few seconds passed. Then they opened again. The same floor. David screamed. Why? Why won't you take me downstairs? His breathing became frantic. He finally understood. He wasn't getting off this floor tonight. David stepped out. The entire office was empty again. He slowly walked toward his cubicle. There was only one thought in his mind. Call someone. Anyone. Just pick up the phone. As he reached his desk, his heart stopped. Someone was sitting in his chair. Their back was facing him, shoulders hunched, hair messy, clothes dirty, torn. David's throat went dry. Who's there? The figure didn't move. David took another step. The entire office seemed to hold its breath. Who are you? Answer me. Slowly, the figure turned. The chair creaked. And when David saw the face, ice ran through his entire body. It was him, his former co-worker, AJ, the man David had tried to destroy to secure his promotion. Ajay's face was horribly disfigured. Skin hung from his cheek. Deep black hollows surrounded his eyes. And inside those empty sockets, something red glowed. Ajay smiled, a weak, trembling smile. The promotion was supposed to be yours, wasn't it, David? David couldn't speak. How are you here? You were... Ajay moved closer. Blood dripped from his face, like he'd just crawled out of water. Remember? The race for project lead? You crashed my system. You deleted my files. And during the client meeting, you lied about me. His voice was quiet, but every word felt like it was drilling straight into David's bones. And then that night, on the roof, you pushed me. No one saw you, right? David shook his head. No, I didn't. I swear, I didn't. Ajay smiled. Does it matter now, David? Lies never stay buried forever. Ajay stood directly in front of him. His expression changed. Tonight, it's your turn. Suddenly, Ajay grabbed David and threw him over the edge. David fell from the 15th floor, straight toward the darkness below. He died instantly. The next morning, employees found David's body beneath the office building. His face was badly bruised. His eyes were wide open, as if he'd seen something horrifying in his final moments. Everyone assumed David had taken his own life because of the pressure at work. And just like that, the story ended. But there was one thing nobody knew. 1 month before David's death, another employee had died on the 15th floor, under almost exactly the same circumstances. People blamed work stress back then too, but employees who stayed late began reporting something strange. When the entire floor was empty, they could hear the sound of typing. Click, 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 as if invisible hands were still finishing unfinished work. And sometimes, people claimed they saw someone sitting in David's chair, back facing the room, completely motionless. So, believe whatever you want. Maybe David really did kill himself. Maybe the building was haunted, or maybe something else had been waiting on the 15th floor all along. Because some people say that even today, if you stay late enough, you can still hear the typing from the empty 15th floor.
As soon as the story ends, the lights in the room suddenly start flickering. And then something appears